safari. And before we get into the nitty-gritty of who we are and where we are and what we're doing, I would just like to offer my sincerest apologies for the delayed start. We seem to have had some kind of problem with one of our repeaters, which made life very tricky and caused chaos throughout the various departments. However, we are back up and running. Whatever gremlin attack happened at the repeater has appeared to have been defeated, and we are taking you once again on a live safari out here in the middle of the African bush on Djuma, Arathusa and Cheetah Plains Game Reserves in the Sabi Sand in the Greater Kruger National Park of South Africa on this gloriously strange winter's afternoon. My name is Jamie, and this afternoon I have Dave on camera with me, and we're heading out along with James, the fantastic and wonderful Mr. James Henry. He will be on Rusty, along with Brian. Brian's on camera with James. It took me a second for me to remember there. And that's James is on Wendy, yes. And we have the lovely Kirsty and Jerry in final control. And don't forget, not only are we live, we are also interactive, which means you can send through questions on hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or email through to questions@WildEarth.tv. And I said it's a strange winter's afternoon. The weather's been most peculiar. Can't quite decide if it's hot or cold, or somewhere in between. And it's been very peculiar weather, sometimes gusty. There's obviously a cold front zooming in from the southwestern parts of our country, so we have them to thank for our strange weather. Now, this morning on the sunrise safari, I was following a male lion in this block off to my right. He gave me the slip. He gave me the slip along with just giving me the briefest glimpse of what looked like a lioness with him, somewhere hidden in the vegetation here. And I have returned to the spot to see if maybe they haven't moved, maybe due to maybe wanting to find a little bit of shade, maybe just moving because it hasn't been too warm today. They're not feeling like their typical lazy lion approach to the day is the way forward. It's 20 degrees, which is 70 in Fahrenheit. Not so bad at all. It just depends on whether or not the wind is blowing. But our lions do not appear to have come out onto this road. I think they went and lay down somewhere in here. We saw them but for the briefest of moments. And I'm reversing backwards for a log. It is a log, not a lion. It is a bundle of leaves with a log underneath it. Right, well, while I look for an actual lion and not an imaginary one, let's go over to Mr. Henry so that he can say hello to you all.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome on our silly Sunday safari afternoon. I hope you are all in fine fettle, wherever you happen to find yourself in the world. I am sitting with my friend Brian Joubert, who has got a what thumb?
An ice cream cone. An
ice cream cone thumb, obviously. But it is a Sunday. And behind us, of course, a very ominous grey sky is moving gently from the southeast towards the northwest. And in case you didn't know who this imbecile talking to you is, my name is James Henry, and you are on a live safari, as Jamie has already told you, and that means we would very much like to talk to you. Hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter, questions at WildEarthTV if you'd like to talk to us on the email. That was a fly that arrested my attention, crawling across the top of my brown peaked cap. Now, our plan was to come into this area. We're in the southeastern corner of Djuma, and we're trying to see if we can find Karula. She was around here this morning. Somebody saw her coming this way, but we don't know where she was with the cubs. And in case you didn't watch yesterday, I'm not sure what kind of possible dreadfulness would have happened to you that you missed yesterday's safari, but on the off chance that you did, or that you're a new viewer, Karula, our 12-year-old female leopard, the queen of Djuma, killed an adult male impala just south of our boundary yesterday. The cubs were there with her, and this morning it looked like that big impala had been dragged off, stolen by pilfering hyenas. They were not seen, but they were very obvious tracks. Her tracks then came north into this block sort of behind us here, and so we're hoping we might pick her up during the course of the day. Another fly. Okay, everyone, it's a sort of strange day, strange weather. It's 20 degrees Celsius, so it's not cold at all, but it is, and that's 70 Fahrenheit, but it does feel kind of ominous, doesn't it, Brian? Yes, that cloud is deeply ominous. Yes. So ominous. So as this ominous cloud makes its ominous way across the sky, we're going to go down, turn to the south, and we'll see if we can't pick some tracks up. Otherwise, we'll see what else we can find. So far, I'm sorry we are late. I'm sure Jamie did apologize on behalf of all of us. Not sure what the problem was, but we have seen some impala, some waterbucks, some good birds so far, so prospects for the afternoon are good. Naturally, now that you are live with us, of course, we will be staring only at the leaves rustling in this rather stiff southeasterly breeze. We're now on the far eastern boundary of Djuma, and we have to keep telling you where we are, of course, because for those of you who are new viewers, it can be a little confusing. We say names like Djuma and Cheetah Plains and Arathusa, and those are the three properties on which we operate, about 6,500 acres that we use, and they're on sort of a, well, Djuma's here, Arathusa off to the west, Cheetah Plains quite a long way off to the east that way, and then they are part of the Sabi Sand, which is a collection of private game reserves here on the western fringes of the Kruger National Park, and all in all, they're part of the Greater Limpopo Transfrontier Park, which is 8.5 million acres of land. That's 3.5 million hectares of untrammeled wildlife land. So there are no fences between us and the very far eastern section, which is in Mozambique, the northern section inside Zimbabwe, and then the western fence, which is just outside the Sabi Sands. Brian, there's a squirrel up ahead. Let us ease slowly towards it so that it does not take fright. And it's in that tree, everyone. I rather thought Wendy would roll a bit further than she has. Can you see it there, Brian? Oh, there it goes. It's gone across the road. It's hurtling across. Beastly little Sunday squirrel. That is the African tree squirrel, everybody, and many people don't know this, but a squirrel is a rodent. So part of the order Rodentia, an order all on its own that contains obviously things like the common rat, all the mice, and all the gerbils and the hamsters and the other cute things you got in there. Brian says he's got him. Back a bit. No, there he runs. Oh. No, he knows we can see him. There he goes. He's there somewhere, everybody. I think we should spend the whole afternoon with the squirrel, don't you, Brian? Wonderful. Amazingly fast. They have to be, of course, because everything likes to eat them. From genets to civets to leopards, especially young ones like George and Charlotte, to eagle owls, eagles, bateleurs, goshawks. They'll all eat a squirrel if they can get one. Now what I can hear while Brian's looking at the squirrel there is some fairly distressed sounding white crested helmet shrikes. They're going just off to the left of us. I can't see them, but chances are that they might be alarming at a predator. So let's just go a little bit forward. See if we can't spot what is causing their consternation. Jennifer, you are very pleased that we found a squirrel. You say you love squirrels. Well, I'm very glad. We love squirrels too, don't we, Brian? Have you ever done a squirrel thumb before?
I haven't actually.
No, there we are then. Maybe a Monday squirrel thumb tomorrow. So what we'll do now is go down this old track that leads to an old hyena den, and we'll see if we can't pick up tracks of the Queen. I suspect quite strongly that she's to the south of us. Let's go back across to Jamie. She has a bird to show you.
I do have a bird to show you, and I was alerted to the presence of this particular bird, in this case these particular birds, although they're making life very difficult, remaining hidden, by the frantic alarm calls of the grey go-away birds, all going quack, quack. Oh, there you go, there was one there. And what a stunning view of a pair of my absolute favourite, one of my top 5 at least, African birds of prey. We're looking at a pair of African hawk eagles, and you always see them together in these couples, and the reason that the go-away birds are alarm calling in response to them is because they are, of course, specialized bird hunters, targeting things like guinea fowl and francolin. And just imagine how windy it must be up there. You can actually see it. Hawk eagles are typically very stable flyers, but you can see the tail working furiously. Well done, Dave. Working furiously to help to maintain that level. Oh, wow. That is absolutely stunning, and made even more dramatic by the incredible clouds that James has been talking about, that ominous sky. They're now completely beyond the range of the camera. They are hiding right above our heads, circling madly. Excuse me, could you go that way? Could you go that way? I can see them. Dave can't, though. I mean, they're so much above us that we run the risk of a surprise present from... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The microphone's gone, the cap's gone. This is where my microphone lives, everybody. That's why you're hearing funny noises. The wind is howling. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. My apologies. I got so distracted by the African hawk eagles that I forgot about the cap on my head. Oh, really very interesting sighting. They're definitely two of the coolest of the birds of prey. There's a pair of them that nests on Central Road, and that's probably these two here. They are territorial, and it's around, where are we? We're in July. Yes, we're in July. They should be breeding very, very soon. Between sort of July, August, September is when the African hawk eagles lay their eggs. They will be preparing for this year's brood, and I don't think the ones on Central Road actually managed to successfully raise a chick this year. We checked up on them regularly, and they didn't appear to have any luck. Right, for once I'm not driving down Gowrie Cutline. Gowrie Cutline has been the road that's presented me with the most lion luck over the last few days. However, he was on Gowrie Cutline when I found him this morning, and he was moving to the west. Now, we've done a full circuit of that particular area, and no signs so far of our... I think it was a mating pair of lions, or at least a courting pair, or maybe just an eager Birmingham boy attempting to court a Nkuhuma lioness. Lots of tracks this morning up and down, so it wasn't just these two in the area. There were others around and about. But let's go and check Sydney's dam. Why not? I mean, I don't think anybody checked there this morning, so we'll head across in that direction. And then what we can do from there, of course, is we can head through to Arathusa and see if we can't relocate Shadow. And Brent had Shadow this morning on the sunrise safari, furiously hunting a duiker. Not furiously, she wasn't angry. She was actively hunting a duiker, and she was unsuccessful. However, I think it's worth going to pay another look. I'm sure that Dave wouldn't mind another shadow and cub sighting. Dave says not at all. I think that probably was one of the most incredible, even though it was a brief sighting, it was one of the most incredible leopard cub sightings I've ever seen. A little leopard cub with a monkey head in its mouth, hissing at Mom to tell her to go away and leave her to her snack, despite the fact that poor Mom actually provided it. So we'll go search for a leopard and cub, maybe some lions on the way. Who knows where the day will take us. And then, because Kirsty requested it especially, a trip to the hyena den. So while we cross over to Sydney's dam, let's go and get an update from James.
Right in front of us. There's a monkey, everybody. And we've come to where Karula killed her impala yesterday. But alas and alack, if there's a monkey there sitting silently and contentedly in the top of the tree, not shouting its lungs out, we can be fairly sure that the leopard is not too close by. Now that is the vervet monkey, of course, not the velvet monkey, as many who are uninitiated call it. Vervet, I'm not sure what vervet means or what the etymology of that word is, but that is a vervet monkey. And you know, South Africa, although being a very diverse country, actually has very few primates compared with other sort of Central African parts of the world. Oh, there's a car coming along here doing roughly 380 kilometers an hour. What do you think, Brian, about Mach 3?
At least.
It's the speed of the blackbird. Yes, so lots and lots of different monkeys and lorises and galligos and all those sorts of things that you find around Africa. But we only find the vervet monkey, the baboon, and of course the Simango monkey in South Africa from this particular family. We're going to have to get out of the way, I'm afraid, because this fellow coming past us is wanting to get by. He's not very polite. Anyway, let me move out of the way so that he may head past. That was our monkey sighting. Not that, of course, I mean that. Now, they're all south of the reserve, exactly where the kill happened yesterday. And like I say, they're all looking very chilled out and comfortable with life. So let's head down further here. We'll go down to the valley of the Great Mulwati drainage and see if we don't find some tracks there. I'm hoping Jamie will find those lions. Ooh, Brian, there's another monkey up there. Let me get a little bit closer. Hang on a sec. You see it there? It's tiny. A tiny monkey. That's a very small baby, everyone. Hello, James Richard. Good afternoon to you. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, wherever you happen to find yourself. You say, if two troops of monkeys came across each other, would there be conflict or would it be peaceful? James, I think you'd find it be relatively peaceful to start with, as long as they didn't start incurring on each other. They're not strictly territorial, but the troops do tend to keep to a sort of specific home range. They don't necessarily defend, but that they will stay within. And the males may well have some conflict between them, but otherwise I don't think it would be vicious, but I don't think it would exactly be like old friends meeting in a pub, if you know what I mean. That's a very little one, and I suspect looking for little buds. Marula tree buds, perhaps the odd leaf or something like that. I'm just going to have a look with the binoculars and see if I can see exactly what it's eating. Perfectly coloured against the grey sky, isn't it there? And Abhishek, you thought only baboons lived in Africa. No, Abhishek, many different kinds and different kinds of baboons. I will just quickly show you a picture. Well, I'll just show you how many primates there are in Africa. Many, of course. Starting, of course, with the great gorillas. 3 different types of gorilla that we have. There they are. The gorillas. The chimpanzees. The colobus monkeys, many of them, different kinds of colobus monkeys, mostly Central Africa and West and East Africa in a broad band either side of the equator. Those are all the colobus monkeys. Then look at all these baboons. These are all baboons. We only get one species of baboon here in South Africa, the Chacma baboon. The other baboons all over the place, and look at these tremendous things, these mandrills. And they're found in various parts of West and Eastern Africa as well. Especially this, look at this fellow. I mean, he's terrifying. He's called a Galadia, and you find him in Ethiopia. Would like to be kissed by him, would you, Brian?
No.
No, it would be very unpleasant indeed. And then cheek-pouched monkeys, golden-bellied mangabees, and then we get eventually to our the cercopithiids and our monkeys, the vervet and the samango. And then all these are all monkeys you find in Africa. Pages and pages and pages of primates, most of which I haven't seen. And that's before we get to the bush babies and the laurids and all those sorts of things. So lots of primates, but very few in South Africa. Goodbye, monkey. Look after yourself. Leopards be in this place. Ah, Marianne, I think you're probably right. You say vervet. Isn't it a word referencing green? Because certainly there is a member of the cercopithiid family called the green monkey. It could well be referencing green. Yeah, let's go with that for now. Thank you, Marianne. But it's certainly not velvet, although they are quite velvety. So we're on our southern boundary, and just to reiterate for those of you who don't know, we cannot go to the left-hand side of your screen. The animals can come and go as they please, but we are not allowed to do that. So Brian is visually trespassing there. Well done, Brian. No one's caught you. Yes, you do what you can. You did very well. And to the right of us is where we're allowed to go. Oh, and Kathy, you say, what happens if we stray outside the boundary? Well, while we look at those arrow-marked babblers, you see them there? A nice troop of them. Oh, and Brian, look what's coming this way, on the ground, just in front of the tree there. Yeah, no, there's a squirrel. Another squirrel. If you... if you just zoom in there on the pile of sticks to the right, and down there. Well done. 2 squirrels, everybody. Today is Squirrel Sunday. Boom! That's marvellous. They are so fast. It's unbelievable. You may be able to hear the babblers there going. Probably because there's another flock of them around here somewhere. See some tracks of vehicles going off-road here. I'm not sure how fresh they are, but let's just keep an eye around. Perchance there has been a leopard in this area during the course of the day. On we go. We'll just keep an eye out. I don't see any tracks. Alright, while we keep surveying this area, let's go across to Jamie and find out what she's got to tell you about those lions.
Well, the thing I can tell you about the lions is that they're not here. As to where they are remains anybody's guess at this point. While you were with James, I spotted at least 2 more lion logs, and I'm going to stop specifically looking for lions because I'm going to start seeing, I am already seeing them absolutely everywhere. It is just one of those things that if you sort of focus your brain too much on looking for one particular animal, you're going to find yourself in trouble because you're going to start seeing it everywhere. And everybody falls into that trap. I remember distinctly as a little kid going to visit the Kruger National Park with my parents and constantly telling them to stop and go back because it took me a very, very long time to see my first leopard in the Kruger National Park. A really long time. Or my first wild leopard ever. And I was convinced as a kid many times that the log that my parents had finally said, no, we're not going back to look at, it was going to be that one time that we missed out on seeing a leopard. Of course it wasn't. It was just me seeing logs and focusing too much on finding one particular animal. So instead we shall look for squirrels. Yes, squirrels on this Squirrel Sunday. And vividly remember being taught the German word for squirrels, which I think is Eichhörnchen. So all our German viewers out here, I'm sorry if I've mangled that word, but it came about because I was teasing one of our volunteers for not being able to say the word squirrel, at which point she then told me it in German and had to teach it to me very slowly several times before I mastered saying Eichhörnchen. I don't think I've mastered it yet. We've done a quick loop just because I am frustrated, not with the lack of lions, but without knowing exactly where they went. It's the fact that we saw them today and then they just vanished into mid-air, into one of those portals that we were talking about yesterday on the sunrise safari. The animals have little secret wormholes that they know where they are and we don't, and they step into them and then suddenly reappear on the other side of the reserve. There's a special magic there. I haven't crossed here. They must still be there. Probably just 100 meters into the block, lying down, watching us or listening to us drive past time and time again and having a quiet chuckle to themselves. Alright. Now these clouds are ominous, but they are also beautiful. I'm going to see if I can't find us a nice view of them, perhaps just a little way along. At the edge of this crest, we might have a nice view. And hello to HK, and good afternoon to you on this special sunset safari on a Sunday afternoon. Any news of the Styx cubs or the Styx females? Well, I'm not sure whether you saw it, HK, but one of the wonderful guides at Nkuhuma, Shanae, actually posted a video up on Facebook of all 8, and we can confirm there's definitely 8 Styx cubs playing about with the rest of the Styx pride. It seems as though one female doesn't have suckle marks, so she looked very pregnant when I last saw her. It's been a long time since I had a proper sighting of the Styx cubs. It looks as though maybe she didn't have them or she lost them at some point. But 8 little Styx cubs, I'm not entirely sure where they are at present. I don't think that they were found this morning, but I'll keep you updated. I am planning a trip to Arathusa at some point this afternoon, at which point we'll be able to get a bit more of an update, because those, I know James is talking about boundaries, those are the guides that generally get more time spent with the Styx females, the Styx pride. Here's a lovely young male kudu. And almost invariably when you see one kudu, there's going to be several hiding away. Hello, boy. Let me have a look at you. Oh, goodness. Endless trees. Not the best view ever. But there is a male kudu hiding behind the tree there. He's going to walk out. There's a female at the back, those of you who are eagle-eyed. Oh, there we go. Thank you, boy. Putting his head in exactly the right place, munching away on an acacia tree with its long white thorns immediately. It's alright. Immediately what tells us it's an acacia tree. And all of the animals, like our male kudu, and I actually have a sense of deja vu because I'm relatively certain this is the same kudu that I saw last time I said this, but all of our animals are a little bit nervous in this windy weather. You can see he's not comfortable. He'd rather be hidden away behind the trees. And very clearly young. He hasn't got those enormous spiraling horns of an adult male kudu. He's probably about, I would guess, at a year and maybe a year and a half. We're right up close to Sydney's dam, so let's go and investigate what's happening there. Perhaps some elephants have decided to come and have a drink. Another thing we're going to be discussing on Fireside Chat is the extraordinary elephant sighting that Jeandre and myself experienced this morning, along with all of the viewers who were watching our sunrise safari. Now, that's something that you can all look forward to at the end of our sunset safari. How's this view, Dave? Let me try get our antenna out of the way. Just have a look at this amazing looking sky. It is really, truly extraordinary looking. A sky of transition. The start of I assume the start of a cold front, and certainly feels that way. And perhaps even, now that I've done my checks, made sure that my rain covers are here, perhaps even the odd drop of rain. Because Monty, yes, it does rain in our dry season, every now and again, but a negligible amount. So if it does rain, it's usually less than about 5 mils, and it really is, it's not of much use, except maybe filling up the dams a little bit, but even then, it is a hugely negligible amount. That's Manuleti, by the way, that you're looking across at the moment. Manuleti, of course, being the reserve that falls to the north of the Sabi Sands. Motaz, who is one of our new viewers, welcome on this extraordinary live safari experience. Hopefully we have many wonderful things to show you, including this beautiful view. Yes, it is winter here. So we're in South Africa, very close to the famous Kruger National Park. We're actually part of the greater Kruger National Park, and it is midwinter. It is very much midwinter, and it certainly feels like midwinter at the moment. Lowveld, of course, we moan a little bit about how cold it is, and it is a bit chilly when you're traveling about in an open vehicle, but it's actually really not that cold. We generally hardly ever go below about 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 centigrade, depending on where you are from, Motaz. But welcome. I hope you become as addicted as we all are to our safari experience. There's a slightly older kudu standing in front of us. Just goes to show, sometimes it's worth stopping and having a look around you, because you never know what the bush is hiding, or what secrets the bush is hiding. In this case, a little bit older than the male we stopped to look at beforehand. You can see his horns have spiraled up. He's got 2 twills. Still not fully grown though, but a little bit more impressive. Instead of browsing, he's currently ruminating, so bringing up balls of cud and chewing them once again to aid his digestive process. And if you're really looking carefully, you might even have seen that bolus come up due to reverse peristalsis along his neck. Just watch him here. Chew, 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 and now swallow. Oh, not yet. Sorry, boy, I don't mean to rush you. Chew for as long as you want. Okay. This apparently needs some serious concentration. So while we wait for him to swallow, just an interesting thing about the brainwaves of ruminants. When they're doing this process of ruminating, their brainwaves imitate, oh, there he swallowed. Perhaps the presence of the female has distracted him from his ruminations. Oh, 2 females. See? Just goes to show. He turned his head away to bring that bolus up, to bring up that ball of cud. Oh, there's another lady. Goodness. Distracted. What I was going to say was our ruminants actually, their brainwaves imitate sleep patterns when they are ruminating. Roger's heard on the subject of our antelope species, one much smaller than the kudu, that duiker are recorded to eat small birds, rodents, and eggs and lizards and such the like, and was wondering whether any of the other antelope species do something similar, eat meat. They can do. A lot of them practice osteophagy, which I'm sure you know, which is the process of chewing on old bones to get the calcium. All antelope do occasionally nibble on carcasses. There's something about duiker, though, that it seems to be particularly prevalent with the duiker, that they will snack on such things. But all of our antelope across the board, there is a chance of them supplementing their diet with a little bit of meat every now and again. It's much more common in duiker, though, and warthog as well. Warthog, bushpig, duiker. They seem to be the ones that do it. Bushbuck as well, also recorded to feed off such things. So it just goes to show, although they are obligate herbivores, they only really eat plant material. You never say never. I've seen a giraffe graze before, which is definitely not something you will find in any of the textbooks, but it does happen. They don't read the rule books, and they will feed on whatever it is their body tells them that they need to feed on. Speaking of which, of course, keep an eye out for our omnivorous jackal pair that has made this area their home. We could well be seeing them on our way through to Arathusa But let's just check up on what's happening at Sydney's Dam. I'm going to guess and say it's going to be very, very quiet. It's just a guess, but because it's very windy and very cool, nothing's rushing to the water's edge. And that big open area that is around most of the dams around here automatically makes things a lot more nervous than they might otherwise be. I actually haven't been to Sydney's Dam in a long time. Interested to see how much water is here. Oh, lots of water. I was wrong. It is not quiet. There is one white pickup truck. And that's it. For now, Sydney's Dam, devoid of any large mammal life. I'm sure there's plenty of birds around there. There's probably plenty of catfish. So not fair to say that it's devoid of all life. But it is devoid of mammal life. In that case, we shall move on and carry along down Sandy Patch. Let's see if the lions haven't tricked us and moved across further to the west than we originally thought. This area, just by the way, for Sydney's Dam, for those of you who are unfamiliar with our geography, is outside of our traverse area. I'm going to do a naughty thing and do a U-turn, reversing back in here, but I'm only going in about 5 feet. Okay. Alright, while we investigate the top northwestern corner of Djuma, James is making his way towards the top northeastern corner of Djuma. Let's see what's happening at Buffelshoek Dam.
Hello! Nothing here. I thought I might have seen a leopard track, but I have not. We're not quite at Buffelshoek Dam yet, everybody. We're going straight up here towards it. I'm hoping that it's slightly more productive than Sydney's Dam was. Yesterday, it was extremely productive, there being 5 lions there, and we had no idea that they were there until we arrived, and very, very gratefully saw the golden pelage of a lioness sitting on the spit of land that extends into the waterhole, which was rather wonderful. Now, if there's nothing at the dam, what we'll do is we'll go down into this sort of drainage system to the left-hand side of your screen, and the reason we'll do that, of course, is that's where the little cubs of the lions have been kept. Now, we are having a fireside chat a little bit later, and we're going to look at some of those clips of the lion cubs. Sorry, I just see something on the road here. There's an elephant, Brian. It is lion tracks, but they're very old, so we won't worry about those. Let's go and have a look at the elephant. Oh, sorry, bump. Try and get a decent picture of him. He's in some thickish bush. Doesn't look like he's on his own. No, there are a few of them here, but they may be a little bit far off the road. It's probably about as good as we're going to get for now, I'm afraid. Anyway, there's a herd of elephants, and we will be looking at the cubs and some elephants during the fireside chat, and mostly, of course, the most astounding thing about the lion sightings we've had is the fact that we all giggle like school children when we first see the little lion cubs. It's very amusing, and then Jamie manages to hold it together far better than Brent or I do, which is quite amusing. Anyway, that's what we're going to be looking at 6:15. And Tony, you want to know if it's going to be on Facebook or on normal stream. It will be the normal stream, Tony. The Facebook thing, I'm afraid, didn't work so well here because our internet connection is too slow. But we will eventually be, I don't know, we might do it through Facebook one day once our internet connection is okay, but at the moment it will remain on the normal stream. Okay, you can see he's missing a tusk, that elephant. one of them has got knocked out some stage during his life, and we often get asked, do we think that hurts? Is there a nerve there? Is it a painful thing? And it is most definitely painful. There's a big fat nerve that goes into the middle of an elephant's tusk, and it's like a squid. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. It's like an enormous sort of squid, long pointy thing, and you can just imagine the pain that must ensue when a tusk gets bitten off, or not get bitten off, when it breaks off. And it will normally break off, of course, this time of the year, when it's been used a lot to break bark or bust into trees to get the bark off. And if there's a little bit of a weakness or an infection or an abscess, then the tusk can break. And the tusk, of course, the middle incisor tooth. There's another one up ahead, Brian, a bit closer to the road. There are a few more there. Let's go a bit closer. So a whole herd here feeding through the woodland. And maybe going towards Buffelshoek Dam, I'm not sure. Just looking at the ground, many hyena tracks, but no lions or leopards. Here we go. Just going to stop here, because this cow is coming towards us at a bit of a speed. So let's just wait and see what they do. She was kind of wandering down the road at quite a speed. Now, I wonder if this isn't the same group that Jamie had this morning, the young male, or the young elephant that they called Benjamin Button because he looks wrinkly, and wrinklier before his age. Yeah, I think that is him. In fact, it must be him. That's Benjamin Button. For those of you who don't know the reference, if I'm not mistaken, and Kirsten will correct me here, Benjamin Button, of course, that movie where didn't that fellow get younger and younger, as opposed to older and older? Is that right, Brian?
That is correct.
Ah, okay. Good. And that's him there. Benj. And the reason he's been called that, of course, is because he is so very, very wrinkly. Now, I'm going to consider moving, but for the moment, let's just wait here. They might go round us. Well, I hope they go round us, don't you, Brian? I don't want them to go through us. Okay, they're getting quite close. We're just going to be very quiet now as they go by. Just be very quiet, everyone. Whisper. Benjamin and his mum, Mrs. Benjamin, are now only about, I don't know, 9 feet from us. Isn't that wonderful? Look at Benjamin. He really does have the most bizarre skin. Sorry, Mum, Mrs. Benjamin, I don't mean to insult your baby. He's very little, he's very young. He's probably only about 3 or 4 months old, if that. And then there's another little one there, just going past us. And now I will try and turn the vehicle, and we'll get another view of Benji and his family. Marvellous! I'm so glad I've got to see him. I've heard much about him, but I haven't seen him before. Look at Benjamin there. Tony, very nice question from you. You say, is it you, or do elephants strut when they walk? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They strut when they're saying, kind of, get out of my way, what are you doing? It's a little bit like a swagger, when a human being does a swagger in order to show that they're either uncomfortable or irritated or not very happy. Then they do that kind of swagger, and that's what she was doing coming down the road like that, just kind of giving us a little bit of a warning. There goes Benji. He's just chasing a fork-tailed drongo onto the tree. There is something so utterly ridiculous about an elephant running, especially when it's that age. You're going charging off down the road. He's just playing there. And of course that play behavior, like with all mammals, very important for social bonding. It's very important for coordination. It's very important for the neurological system and its connections. And is this his mum in front of us, or just the young bull? I think it's a young bull. Right in front of us here. Just over there. Very close by, very comfortable, thankfully, with us. And Benji's gone off with his mates. And we'll go and have another look at him, I think. Let's just watch this one here. Unfortunately, the silver cluster leaf tree is about to have a very bad Sunday. Yes, there it goes. Amazing. It is not, it's not a small tree, everybody. That's quite thick. It's probably about, I don't know, say 4 inches in diameter. And she's now eating the leaves, or he's now eating the leaves. Let's go back and see if we can't get one more view of Benjamin. I can see him down there. His mum seemed relatively happy to have us around, so we'll stay. That is a female. I think that may well be his mum. Niche in New York. You want to know about what happens if a cow dies. If an elephant cow dies and she's got a calf, will another lactating female take over? Niche, they are one of the very few species where that does happen. One of the very few where an unrelated female will adopt a cow who's been orphaned. Sorry, young one. I don't think there's any need to behave like that, especially as Benjamin was so happy to see us. So Nitch, the whole herd will sort of kind of take over the orphaned elephant. And the other matriarchal society we have out here, of course, the hyenas. That does not happen. If a female dies and she's got little cubs, they will absolutely be doomed. In lions it can happen if there are lactating females of the right age within the pride. It's not so much an adoption because they all do cross-suckle regardless. But yes, absolutely. This chap is showing us how very strong he is. Yes, you are very strong. And we respect you. And we will especially respect you when you are 6.5 tons in height or size. Now here comes Mum again behind us. I'm just going to wait for her to come past us before I move the car again. Except she stopped to eat, so I'm not. Benji's just up ahead. Let's go and see what he's doing. You calm down over there. I'm being ridiculous. Kathy, you want to know if elephants give birth standing up? They do indeed give birth standing up, Kathy. They kind of squat. And they give birth standing up. I'm just keeping an eye here. Now, I know that we're being... It looks like we're having a sort of very fun sighting, which of course we are having. And there's Benjamin in front of us. But it is very important to realize, of course, that these are elephants, and we've got to keep an eye out for their behavior. And the key to staying safe around elephants is to not be complacent about their behavior. You can keep watching how they're feeling, where's the matriarch, who's the matriarch, what's she saying to the others, what is her body language to you. And that's what we're doing now. At the moment, everyone seems completely relaxed, and I think that the matriarch is probably Benjamin's mother. She's just coming up now to the right-hand side of us, and she looks completely relaxed. Brian, can you see on the tree there are a whole lot of moths? Isn't that bizarre? Look at those moths, everyone. That's astounding. This time of the year, you wouldn't expect there to be any moths. Let's go and see if we can see them. Bethany, while we try and see those moths and get another view of Benji, you want to know about the resting position of the ears. Do they come out like that, resting position, or is it flat against the body? It's most definitely flat against the body, Bethany. It's not opened out. Opened out is purely when they're a little bit cross. These are burnets. I think burnet moths. I'm going to go and kidnap some. Ooh, watch out, Brian. Terror and terror. Can you see? Very large bull elephant just attacked us. And I'm being completely facetious, of course. He is a young bull and he's just bored with feeding all day long, and so he thought he'd just give us a bit of a rev and see what happened. And now he's disappearing because he's very ashamed that we didn't run away from him. Let me go a little bit forward. I'd love to try and grab one of these moths. While I do that, everybody, Jamie Patterson has got something very exciting to show you.
I do indeed have something very exciting to show you. And sorry, I'm just going to move up so that Johan, who found our lines after all of that, can come and join us. Can you believe it? You're never going to believe where they popped out. Remember when I said I'm not going to go down Gowrie Cut Line because we've had so much line luck there, but I don't think it's going to happen again. Remember that sentence? Remember that? Remember that, Dave? Guess where these lionesses popped out, everybody? Yep. Gowrie Cut Line, Junction Buffelshoek Cut Line. So we were just 10 minutes too early. How awesome is this? 3 Nkuhuma lionesses wandering down the road. Only seen 2 so far, I think, but there are apparently 3 of them moving past Jors at the moment and his guests as she wanders through. I wonder where the male is, actually. We raced through, but there's a good chance that he's going to be following up behind. Look at that, that's such a cool picture. Exciting times for that gentleman. Looking like empty bellies. I wonder where they're off to. Okay. We are coming up to Buffelshoek Dam at the moment. We're going to lose a view of them for now. I'm going to move over and let Johan come past. Oh, but let's just wait for this. This is absolutely awesome. Oh, wow. Look at that. Does it get more iconic? Beautiful. I'm not going to move just yet. I'm going to let her walk out of shot because this is just too stunning. And there she goes. They're going for a drink at Buffelshoek Dam. That's where they're going. I can almost guarantee it. Okay. Let's go and meet them there, shall we? Where did she go? She must be in the quarry. Oh, there she is. Oh, they're moving. Standing by. Copy that, thank you. Okay guys, the game's just changed. These are some very hungry cats. And there's some buffalo. So we're just going to... Oh wow. The buffalo, I haven't seen them. There. Buffalo there. Lions there, look at that. The lions probably about... Oh wow. This is incredible. There's one there. There's lioness stalk. She's so close to them. She is just a little bit to the right. There's a fallen tree there. These lions are going to go for these buffalo. Okay, we're going to be very quiet. They're totally downwind. This is incredible. This is not what I was expecting this afternoon. I don't know where the third lioness is. She's probably sneaking round. There she goes. There they go. Oh wow, that's incredible. Wait, they're coming back through here. They've got one. Thanks. This is incredible! Oh, they haven't got one. They're still chasing. Okay, let's stop here. Move up for Johan. Just stay there. Okay, panicked buffalo. Oh, buffalo fighting back. They're chasing the lionesses away. And there's absolute pandemonium here. Okay, we're just going to lose a view for the moment, but that's okay. The buffalo are fighting back. They're chasing the lionesses away. Oh! This is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe this is the way the afternoon has gone. Dave, what kind of luck do you bring? Okay, bear with me, we're going to reposition round here. Sorry, Rust Bucket. And the lionesses, there they go. The lionesses have lost their... Oh, this is incredible. The lioness is looking for an opportunity, herding the buffalo towards Buffelshoek Dam. I can't believe this! Absolutely phenomenal! 3 lionesses making a very brave attempt at catching an adult buffalo bull. It's not beyond them. Okay. There's a lioness there. Okay, we don't want to get in the way here. They're chasing through there. Just listen to the sounds they're making. Absolutely incredible. Okay. So what have you? Thank you. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. What is going to happen next? Are the buffalo going to continue to turn the tables on the lions, or are the lions going to manage this? Thanks, yeah. Hold on, Dave. They're going again. I'm going to get us a good view. buffalo fighting back, trying to stay together in their herd. There's dust flying everywhere, and 3 very hungry predators trying to single a buffalo out. Lioness playing peekaboo around the termite mound. And the buffalo panicked. Oh, one massive bull chasing them away. There's just lions everywhere, lions and buffalo. There's a young, this bull. Oh, sorry, it's a cow. Look, this is the cow that they've got. They've already actually caught her. There's a big piece missing out of her back end. And that's the one that they're targeting, but they can't get past the big buffalo bulls. That's the they want that female. Here comes the lionesses regrouping. And moving around. And standing by. Sorry, guys. They're just to the north, in the block north of Bubblesup Dam. They're hunting in Yari. Look at this standoff. Look at this, it's incredible. They are in the block north of Buffelshoek Dam. And they're static for now with the Nyari. Copy. Look at this. There you go, look, there's the big bull. He's protecting that old cow with the long horns. Look at, she's panicked. She's been injured. I don't know where the other lions are for now. There they are. Trying to panic her, trying to separate her from the rest of the herd. And this could be a long standoff. This could change at any moment as well. Okay. Just see if they herd them back towards us. They've split up. One's chased a female right away from the rest of the group, and they've actually split the buffalo up. The cow's coming back towards the lioness. We're going to go again. Okay guys, we're going to do quite a long loop. We're going to get around to the other side. Oh, this is absolutely incredible. This poor old buffalo making what might be her final stand in life, defended by 2 buffalo bulls, and the reason she's with them could well be that she's already been chased by these lions at some point. They are hungry and they are determined. And now we wait. It's like everything's frozen. Lionesses are tired. They managed to jump on the back of that female, but they just couldn't quite get her down because the buffalo bulls came back to chase them away. Look at that. He's herding her back away from the lions. He's standing between her and the lions. How is that for animal behavior? That's absolutely incredible. She's older, she's thin. that injury to her rump is, I know you haven't seen it yet, it's quite painful looking. They've cut deep into the muscle. And now we have a standoff. Now, I know you can't see for now. It's not the best view, but things could change at any moment. Absolutely any moment. Wow. Well, that was exciting. Whew. Isn't that incredible how things just change over here? The buffalo are moving off. The lions are following, but at a much more sedate pace. Oh, they're going again. They're going to go again. Here they go. And that main bull, buffalo bull, acting as defender. The lion's just patiently waiting for the opportunity. They're going again. Okay, they've slowed a little bit. The third lioness is missing. I don't know where she's gone. They're looking for support. They cannot do this, just the two of them alone. Where is she gone? She's coming. She is coming. She's behind. Guys, if these buffalo continue north, it will be the end of our sighting. Unfortunately, it's north of our traverse. Let's go to the buffalo. We're hitting the fire break now. For now, the buffalo mobile north. They are going into Buffelshoek. Let's just wait for a moment. The lionesses are going to come out behind them. And they've gone. Lionesses are moving off. Yeah, there the lionesses go. That was absolutely phenomenal. And today, one very lucky buffalo cow walks away with walking away from it with an injured backside and probably some serious adrenaline, but she's safe. And now 3 hungry lions are going to have to carry on their search. It was a bold attempt on their behalf. Just the 3 of them taking on a full-grown adult buffalo. And our Nkuhumas are still hungry. Wow. That was very, very close to being a lion kill. Sure, Rusty, well done. And well done to Dave as well. Alright, we're going to stay with these lionesses for as long as we can. Let's go over to James, who's not far from us at all, just a couple of 100 meters, probably listening to the drama going down.
Oh, the drama, everybody. I've been listening to the drama, and well, slightly rooting for the buffalo and slightly rooting for the lions, and rather hoping they'd come cascading down towards the dam here and we'd find ourselves in the sighting by mistake. Much easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Instead, we have been watching the back end of 2 Egyptian geese as they feed on the algae in what is very fast drying up Buffelshoek Dam. There is also a hippopotamus just the other side of the dam there. The last time we saw him, Brian and I went down close to get a closer look. He got very cross with us indeed, and so we decided we'd choose discretion as the better part of valor here, and we're just going to sit right where we are now. There are a couple of other birds, ringneck doves, blacksmith lapwings, and 1 or 2... Oh, excuse me, everybody. Misonde launch is threatening to... well, it's not quite digesting yet. And there is a 3-banded plover as well. I don't know if you can see it, Brian, with that lens. It's that little thing sort of just beyond the gooses. There we are. 3-banded plover, everybody. So those of you keeping bird lists, Egyptian goose, common. Ringneck duff, common. 3-banded plover, not so common, quite common. Blacksmith lapwing. And I don't know if you can hear them, but the Egyptian geese are making quite a noise. They're going... They're eating algae, and they will be finding probably the odd snail and that sort of thing. Right, the lionesses are heading in this direction. There are about 3 or 4 vehicles trying to get into the sighting, so we're going to extract out of here. And that sounds very dramatic. It just means we're going to drive away, and we're hopefully going to go down into the valley where those little cubs were, and maybe we'll find them playing in the sand.
Alright, guys, we're just about to lose view of them. They're crossing a drainage line that we won't, despite Rusty's sheer courage, we will not be able to follow them through. A fair bit of still mobile east, southeast. They're crossing the drainage now. Sorry guys, we need to keep Gladwell updated because he's going to go around. These lionesses not settling for now, they're going to keep moving. We've got 1 still flat. Oh, it's going to take a while for my heart rate to settle down a little bit. That was incredibly dramatic. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal. And Roger agreed. Even though it was a failed hunting attempt, it was only just a failed attempt, and to watch something like that live and not on a documentary is absolutely extraordinary. We really are so fortunate. And these are the sorts of moments that make a live safari so incredibly, I don't know, addictive in a way. Because when we say you never know what's going to happen, you really never know what is going to happen. And that's certainly not what I expected when we raced back to these lionesses. When I said I was setting out to find lions today, this is not what I expected. Here we go. So Gladwell's made his way. He's now got visual. So that means we can go around and join in there. We can reposition to get a better view. Whoa! That was intense. And Valeria, that was an incredible sighting. And yes, absolutely, that buffalo is going to survive that injury. I know you guys never really got to see it. It's not going to kill her. Chances are she will be absolutely fine. She was not, look, it was adrenaline as well, but she was not even limping at that point. She's going to be fine, Valeria, and to all of those concerned about her. These animals are phenomenally resilient. And they heal up from injuries that would lay a human being low without any difficulty. I've got to go around, guys, and at some point I'm going to have to leave this sighting. Oh, let's try and get ourselves up and around. Hold on, Rusty. There's some serious manic driving there. Sure. That was so close. That was really so close. And that female buffalo owes her life to those males. They came back, and that's this extraordinary courage. Mike, make your way in. I will pull out. Extraordinary, extraordinary courage of these animals to stand by one. Let me just see. Oh. Okay guys, I do have to direct some people into the sighting. It does mean we have to leave the sighting. As you can imagine, what they must have felt like listening to all of this happening on the radio. Oh goodness. We find ourselves with a bit of a... Come along the fire break. Come from Cheetah cut line. Come west along the fire break. Okay, trying to direct into a sighting is very tricky. My radio comms don't seem to be working. How on earth did they manage to get up here? Okay, we're going to be at quite the angle here, Dave. Are you ready for this? No, I'm actually not going to do this to Rusty with another vehicle approaching. We have to pull straight back out. Sorry guys, we did get an extraordinary view. There is a vehicle right behind us. Here's Mike. So we do have to pull out regardless of my decision as to whether or not to take that angle. Oh. There we go. And just like that, it is... Ooh, that was close. I'm laughing, I'm sorry. Mike's turn, just show them that gap there. That was nearly disastrous. There's a massive dip there that the wheel... Come look at this tire track. Come look at this tire track, it's incredible. Sure. You should be able to see it. Look at where that tire track falls. Can you get it there, Dave? Yeah. Look there. Okay. If you look a little bit to the left there, Dave. Oh, there you go. Look there. Perfect. That's the tire track. That's why I was making a little bit of noise. Let's get out of here, guys. That is phenomenal. What an afternoon. And that's all happened in half an hour. Everything turned insane.